Whoa. 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 It's the illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. We're here for Sober Wednesday. The hour, or in this case, 45 minutes, dedicated to the solution for whatever it is that might be jamming you up. Um, let's start this out with a little serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Well, we made it back here for another week. Another week we've pulled it off. And what's going on? Fix the BS, dude. Floyd. Yeah, we made it, man. We're here. We're alive and kicking. We'll be super grateful about it too. I man, I had I got called in for work to go keep eyes on a dude in the midst and the depths of his addiction, man. It was a heavy scene, dude. It was a super. I have nothing but gratitude that I can experience a scene like that and walk through it with another human being and not be affected by it, which is I'm super grateful for. So I got called up last week to go down and basically sit with a guy for a couple days while he was actively using injectables and just make sure he didn't get into any more trouble till his friend could get there. And I hadn't been around anyone actively pursuing the depths of hell in a vigorous manner in quite some time, dude. And for me, I can go do it. I'm pretty stoked about that stuff. Doesn't bother me, dude. You know, I was sitting with this dude. He was shooting up, doing his thing, and you know, I don't really have a judgment on it. Like, I didn't feel sorry for him. I didn't really feel bad for him. I was just there to be an example of the solution. And it was pretty interesting. The dude was super appreciative. I didn't judge him and didn't make him uncomfortable and didn't shame him and guilt him and all of that stuff, dude. I just went there and was a example of what sobriety can be. It was a pretty heavy 48 hours. And you know, it just goes to show is wherever you are out there in life is this dude had all the stuff. Vast financial resources, youth, physical. He was a physical dude. I mean, like, you know, healthy, physical, girls, cars, fat bank accounts, career, all the stuff, and yet when it came down to it, he was just a broken addict who couldn't stop, who knew better, who used to be sober. And you know, when you get into those kind of situations, it's a tricky thing because you have to steel yourself to it. And most people want to go in and fix it and make it okay. And I don't do that. I don't need to fix it or make it okay. I just need to be there with the person, right? And so I sat with this dude for 48 hours. And there were moments of coherence, if you will, moments of coherence. And I walked away from this thing once again. I remember I was sitting in this house down in Orange County in a super nice neighborhood, trying to help this dude out, and I remember I was looking out the window, and I was like, I wonder how many of these houses in this neighborhood have something just like this going on. Just somebody at the wheel of their own demise, just actively pursuing their own implosion. And so I started to think about, like, what is of value in this life we have? Like, what is it, the stuff? Because this dude had all the stuff. He had all the stuff, dude. Couldn't keep him from shooting up, dude. Couldn't keep him from doing that. So he had all the stuff. And I was sitting there and I was like, well, what is it? And I was like, you know what it is? It's having a happy kid. Having a happy kid, man. And so I was sitting there and I was like in the midst of this kind of scene going on. I mean, the dude was super, like, you know, wasn't a bad dude. That's even more tragic, dude. The dude was a good dude. Just came unglued, dude. His addiction had taken over. The monster had gotten him. And I think on one level you're just there to keep him moving forward towards the light, right? Move towards the light. Because when I got there, it was a dude was out. He'd been on like an 8-day run. So I cleaned up all his stuff. I got the space re-cleaned up, and the dude popped up out of his sleep, dude. Big bear. He's a big bear waking up from hibernation. Roar. Where's my stuff? I'm like, I got your stuff, dude. Don't worry. Where's my stuff? I was like, look, man, like, you called us in because, like, that was ultimately the thing the dude did call the cavalry to come show up. I was like, look, you called the cavalry. Your boy called me, got me off my ranch to come down here and help you out. He said, I just want my stuff. I'm like, all right, man. Like, is this what we want to do? Are you sure this is what we want to do? We're all big boys here. We can do whatever you want to do, dude. He's like, yeah, I want my stuff. He's like, I'll be done at 10 o'clock tonight. And so it was an adventure, and because I have a voyeuristic tendency. I can sit with people. Like, I'm not afraid of drugs and alcohol like that. I'm personally, like, I'm quite aware of my tendencies, and I'm understand my powerlessness and my unmanageability. But actively watching another dude, a guy, like, there was a point where the dude was passed out. I had all of everything you could ever need to really just go give it a shot. And it's nothing, that I talk about it a lot during these sober Wednesdays. Is the gift of sobriety is the obsession has been removed. Like, I could stand there with all of his stuff right there, and I don't have any inkling to it or interest in it. No need to pull a move or be sneaky. I'm not influenced by finances or situations or any of that stuff. I was just able to go down there and just be stoic, and I would argue that most people couldn't handle the scene, dude. It was, on one level, it's like graphic drug abuse. On another level, it's just a broken person in pain trying to figure out how to alleviate the pain. And it's funny because the dude can't get out of the pain. Like, even the stuff doesn't work anymore. He just doesn't realize it yet. You know what I mean? Because he's still actively like chasing it. But so yeah, it was a super heavy thing, and I was like, I hadn't left the ranch and been experienced anything like that in a number of years, dude. Like, I haven't actually sat with someone and kept them safe in the midst of their insanity in quite a while. Like actively using. Like, we deal with them up here at the ranch, after they've been through the spin dry and gotten all like coordinated. But so it was an once again, it was an experience that lets you realize, man, that how desperate times we are in, dude, and just the nature of brokenness that is this time that we inhabit, and just how it's lurking like under the hood of everything. Like, it's just like it's almost like a culturally acceptable place to be. Like, that was, I think, what was fascinating watching this dude. Like, younger dude. I'm 56. This dude was younger than me. He's 40. Like, young, healthy, fit dude, like I said, with all the stuff, dude. Couldn't keep it together, man. But interesting, like, participating in a cultural norm that's about not keeping it together, and that yet this dude didn't want to be. That's the irony. He knows better, dude. That's why you can't come in and preach. Like, here, I preach sobriety. I preach it for an hour, dude. The value of it, the point of it, my own situation with it. But with a dude like that who had been sober, has all the stuff, you can't preach it. You got to just sit and be it. Like, just sit, like I think that, like, in sobriety, and this is a thing that I've learned, is carrying the message isn't necessarily speaking the message. Sometimes carrying the message is just being quiet and present and not needing to fill the space with words and stuff. Like, it was interesting. I was there for like 48 hours with this dude till his buddy arrived. I didn't need to share my experience, strength, and hope, or any of that kind of stuff. Like, that dude saw my sobriety and the fact that I didn't need to judge him or make him feel bad. Like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. You're bad. You're bad human, dude. You're shooting coke, dude. You're bad human. Stop that. Shame on you. No, I just was sat with this dude, occupied the space with him, like sort of like in a little like space capsule, man. It was a scene. I hadn't done it in a while. It was interesting to be back, the whole thing about it, and then sort of the futility of it all. Not in the sense of being sober, but just, it's funny. Like, I guess I speak from a person who's pretty far down, halfway far down the line somewhere. I'm somewhere on the line more than just beginning, right? And I'm not at the end of the line either. I'm in the middle of my sobriety, right? Whatever that means. I guess I'll be in the middle of it, hopefully, for a while. But you sit and you realize like how like cursed it is for those who are like you got to understand is most drug addicts and alcoholics are seeking the spiritual solution, dude. They're seeking we are seeking a spiritual path forward. We know that we are incomplete without God of our understanding. And but we don't know what it is, so we fill that space with the drugs and alcohol till we can get to a place where we're truly able to like surrender ourselves to the truth. And the truth is that, none of this stuff here can keep us sober. It doesn't. No amount of money, no amount of stuff, kids, children, surf trips, skateboards, helicopter skiing, none of that stuff can really keep you sober. It is. I see it so clearly and so often. Is the only thing that really does keep you sober is the willingness to help another achieve sobriety, man. And I, it's my growth is in my own. I think I got to look at my own personal growth in sobriety during that little foray down to Orange County. As I think earlier in my sobriety, when I used to be pretty in the field a lot doing the sober coaching and companioning and all that kind of stuff, is I used to try to like, validate the reasons why sobriety works and what it is and all of that, sort of like I do here on these sober Wednesdays. But I think I've learned over time or I saw illustrated this thing was there's no amount of words that can actually help anyone understand sobriety. It really is the lack of words. It is not saying anything. Because I think in one sense, being in this person's presence is my most powerful thing of sobriety was the need not to like talk about it, if that makes any sense. I just didn't like it was just night and day, dude. And I don't know if this dude would have heard it anyhow. I'm glad I didn't, like, because he got it. And so anyway, yeah, so I went on a big gnarly adventure for like 48 hours and into the belly of the beast, man. And I can tell you this is I hadn't been I haven't tested myself in the field since I moved up here. And I can tell you, dude, like rock solid, man. Felt very connected to my sobriety in the sense of at peace with it. Because I think in the beginning, when you're there's a phase of sobriety where like you are you are sober, like you are sober. I am sober now. You know what I'm saying? It's like it shifts. It's in the there's like the beginning, you're getting sober, you're on fire, you're doing the sober thing, and then it becomes a thing of you are sober. The outside, you're sober for the outside world, you're reflecting to the outside world. And I think now I'm in a place where I am sober. It's like an internal sobriety. Like I like I'm sober in a complete sense of being sober, where like I don't need to like broadcast it. My very presence in the situation is sober. And that's what I mean is I think, it was funny. I was talking to this dude for a minute and he was like, I go, yeah, I'm not a blue book thumper. I'm not going to thump you with the, he's like, I don't want to hear that shit anyhow. And I go, I get it. Like, I wouldn't either, as he's shooting himself up. I wouldn't want to be hearing that either, dude. He knew the book. He had sobriety for quite a while. And because like, that's the thing, is like, I'm not threatened by the outside world anymore. I think like there's a phase of your sobriety where like you have to be, you are sober and you're projecting sobriety as sort of like battle armor. Like, I'm going out in the world, I'm a sober human being. And it's not something you need to say or broadcast. It's just like, I'm going out in the world, I'm sober, dude. Like, I got this. Like, and now I don't, like, it was funny. Like, I didn't think anything about it. I didn't think anything about it at all. I just was. And it was an interesting place to inhabit. Cause like I said, I hadn't actually been in the field with someone actively using drugs and drinking alcohol and smoking weed. I built the dude a gravity bomb, dude. Like, the dude's like, I need something to smoke my weed with. I'm like, do you got an avocado and a toilet paper roll? And he almost got the reference. I was like, look, I'll just build you a gravity bomb, dude. And it was epic, dude. I hadn't built a gravity bong in like 20 years, dude. But we got it done. And like I said, I'm not threatened by it. I have such a healthy respect for my own sobriety that I look at the little powdery things and the little cans full of this and the bottles full of that and the little pills and the little wraps and baggies full of weed and stuff. And I just look at it and I just go, child's play, man. Child's play, dude. I remember early, like, I think I must have been like 5 years sober. I was helping my buddy get sober. We used to go to fish shows and just get tore up and go crazy at fish and the whole thing, taking psychedelics and snorting things and popping pills and drinking stuff and just smoking weed and just run and run like an antelope, right? And I remember we went to a show down the Forum. Him and I. It was like his first sober show. And we went down to see fish. And I'd done a couple of them on YouTube by then, sober fish shows. So I went down and we were in the Forum, like in the thing, and everybody around us was just the whole time was just adding stuff to their experience, adding weed and drinking things and taking things. Everyone around us, dude, for as far as the eye could see, dude. And I remember it was set break. And my buddy was like, isn't it cool? We don't need to add anything. I go, I know, dude. Isn't this great, dude? It's like, it's the same crazy show we used to have when we were all loaded too, but we just don't need to add anything to it, dude. It's like, we're free. Because you're in the show, you're rocking out, we're dancing, doing our thing. Like, we're trippers, dude. Once a tripper, always a tripper. And we're in the thing, but everybody else around us the whole time was just always like busy. They were always busy. They always, they would be rocking out and then they would have to get busy, add some more, dude. Just add some more, just add some more, just add some more. And we were marveling at just what it was to be in this like drug culture, rock and roll experience and just be tuned into the music completely and not need to add anything to be tuned in. And that's really what like the freedom is to be able to not need any of that stuff. And that's where it was, is like, I literally just sat, I read the 5 agreements while I was at this dude's house, because there's the 4 agreements and then there's the 5th agreement. I just read. I remember the dude came out and he was like, and I go, dude, it's all good, dude. I'm just hanging out, man, just reading. He's like, and I go, and oh, dude, and this was weird too. I hadn't been in a in a place with televisions either, dude. And forever, dude. And there was televisions in this little like, really nice neighborhood, but like small cottage. Like the television was as big as the wall. And I remember the dude was tripped. Like, he's like, I don't watch television, dude. It's like, whoa, dude. Like that's what I mean. Is like, even like that, like just so sober. Like, I don't watch television. I'm just sitting there reading a book, dude. I don't need to do anything. I'm not tripping on where I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just right where I'm supposed to be. Just in the fire, just standing in the fire with this guy. And he's just noodling out and just standing in the fire, making sure this dude doesn't pass away, dude, by his own actions, dude. It was a truly sober experience. It was fantastic, man. Like I said, it rejuvenated my own sobriety because I was able to be and witness someone actively pursuing the mind-altering state of coping with their own personal pain. And this dude had a lot of personal pain going on, dude. In his moments of coherence, he would talk about it, and just being grateful that I can experience this painful reality and not need to add anything to deal with it. And that ultimately makes it like a less painful reality, man. I think that people have such a misconception of that the drugs were never the problem. The alcohol wasn't the problem. In fact, it was the only thing that kept many of us around long enough to get to the solution. So when we sit in these things, and again, as I was sitting and just watching this dude with his stuff, and it was just so clear to me, like that it was medicine for this guy. That's why like the thing is like, like to go in and judge someone on their consumption of their own medication. Yeah, they're self-medicating. Yeah, it's debauchery and it's burning down your own life and stuff. But the medication's the only thing they really have at that point till they're ready to jump out of the airplane. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. It's funny. Like there was nothing you were gonna say to this dude that was gonna convince him to put down his syringe, dude, and be like, yeah, let's go get sober, dude. Like that dude wasn't done yet, dude. Like I said, I got called in just to be the guardrails, just to make sure light himself on fire or something. I don't know what. But it was a fascinating experience, dude. And I'm completely grateful to be sober, man. Completely grateful to be sober, dude. I had people on my crew in the restaurant business that couldn't work a shift without Norcos, dude. Yeah, there's lots of booze to fight through daily here in Wisconsin. Yeah. But it will get easy with time. Just a lot of reasons not to drink, as many people drink. Yeah, dude. Once you get to the other side and you really see that how futile it is, dude. Constantly around people drinking and smoking weed when I'm skating. When you are sober and feel the people around you are partying, feel so away from so many people now. Yeah, but you got to remember that's them. That's not you. They're the ones who are far away from you. It's not you that's far away from them. You're present. Like that's what I mean is I was sitting right next to this dude as present as can be. That dude was in another. It's very interesting to like I said, I hadn't actually like gotten to study a person actively out of their mind by their own doings. And it was trippy because like that dude was not there, dude. His spiritual self would pop in every now and then and say, like, ask a question or say something. But it was very interesting to be as like that dude was so far away in another planet, man. I don't know what planet it was. And I was like, I don't want to go there, dude. Been there, done that, dude. I worked as a bouncer for years and people couldn't put down the beer and cocaine. It was really wicked. Yeah, I'm bouncers, man, see it all, dude. I fight that all the time I want to smoke when doing gnarly stuff. It's wild. Yeah, but that's what you get used to is like that. Like once you get on the other side, that the doing the gnarly stuff, you wouldn't want anything to take away the gnarly moment, dude. It's the de-enhancer. That's part of the psychology I think that's been laid on us, that somehow it enhances or makes it able. But once you get over the thing, you would never want to put anything in your way. It didn't make you skate better. It didn't make you surf better. It didn't make you do anything better. In fact, it might have enhanced it in the beginning. Like, listen, like you're not gonna. I'm not gonna sell you that weed in the beginning wasn't fantastic. Weed in the beginning was fantastic, man. So was the acid. So was the alcohol. So was the shrooms and the coke and all. And all in the beginning did exactly what it was. What it did. It opened all sorts of doors. The problem was that after the door is open, there's really nowhere to go. It's just a door. It's just a door that's been open, and the room just loops back to the door. It's just the never-ending door. It's like you just open a door and there's another door, and just doors. You just got to spend your whole time opening doors. It's when you really get sober, dude, because you have all the data. Like that's the thing I think that people don't truly understand is you have all the neurochemistry inside of you, and you can tap into it. Like if that's your thing, like you can be like all shades of whatever it was at any given moment. You can tap into the whole neural pathways. It's just you find that you don't need to, because you have higher developed neural pathways that are far greater, like manifesting your own reality, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Once you get into like manifesting your own reality, getting stoned to do your little loop-de-loop on your skateboard or loop-de-loop on your surfboard, child's play. Like once you actually get to the point where you start materializing like jobs and careers and children and life and at the blessing of God, you're like, whoa, dude, like it's far out, man. Far out, dude. Like, whoa, like that's what I'm trying to say is drugs and alcohol are like playing in a sandbox. When you get sober and you have conscious contact with God, you get to be architect of the universe. You get to like hang with the creator, dude, and co-create, dude. Like you get a license for your interdimensional architecture, man. You're not stuck playing in the sandbox with your needles and bottles and bongs and stuff. You're in a higher dimensional plane, kicking back with your creator, like being allowed to like make what you want to happen, man. It's like a fantastic thing. It's really, you really do see what a lower dimensional trap drugs and alcohol are, man. Like wow. Like no wonder, right? Talk about burning up a whole level of consciousness. I mean, I could turn this into a big political rant right now, but I'm not going to. I just think that once you see what a con job it is, you would recoil like it's a hot flame, dude. You wouldn't want to have anything to do with it if you truly understood how much it's holding you back, how much it's keeping you from the thing that it pretends to be guiding you to, right? Like that's the thing. If I had known, like if I had truly understood the beginning of the process, right? The orchie, dude, thank you. If I had truly understood the beginning of the process, would have moved me farther away from what I enjoyed about the beginning of the process. You know, like in the beginning when you're first getting stoned and you have that, you're just like, whoa, dude, and the whole thing, right? But the weed actually like shows it to you and then moves you as far away from it as possible. You know what I mean? Like it's weird. Like you see all that stuff when you, the first couple times you're tripping and you're like, whoa, dude. Like, and then it just moves you as far away from that as possible. And then it's like the alcohol. It's like in the beginning, it makes you social and talk to the girls or whatever it does for you in the beginning. And then it just moves you as far away from that as possible. That's the irony of the thing. It's the ultimate, like drugs and alcohol, the ultimate bait and switch, man. Just fully like, here, this is what you're going to miss. Let me show you what you're going to miss for the next 20 years or maybe the rest of your life. Let me just show you what you're gonna miss, dude. Like, that's what I mean is like, I look at like, talk about grateful, getting sober at 40 before the buzzer expired, right? I know people that have gone through their whole life that aren't sober right now, and they're old and they're about to meet their maker, and you're like, dude, you got conned. You thought you felt better. You thought that was deadening the pain. In fact, yeah, you got to walk back through the door you opened. That's right, man. It's a very interesting paradox, the whole thing. Because you can't know what a bait and how much of a bait and switch it was till you got bait and switched, right? You know what I mean? You can't figure out the scam until you've been scammed. Like, I think that's the irony of the, and I think that's why when you get sober, you have this ability to get so super strong because you realized how you can see the bait and switches moving forward. You're like, oh yeah, it's like, that's like the bait and switch I just spent the last 20 years of my life maneuvering around, dude. Oh, but you can't, like, that's the one thing that sort of sucks about it too, is like, you really can't stop anyone. And you really can't sit in front of the door and go, look, dude, if you open the door, it's just going to be a bunch of doors. Dude, it's a bait and switch. It's a bait and switch, bro. Because people want to be bait and switched. And I suppose that's the nature of the human condition, right? Like, maybe that's how we become spiritually fit, man. Maybe that is how we truly, like, I think so, like, as a person who goes to church as a sober dude, you can see people in the church who haven't burned down their life. They really don't know what it is that the forgiveness is about. They truly don't understand because they never took the chance. So I sit in church as a sober dude, and I'm super grateful that I met the devil personally, dude. Like, me and the devil shook hands, dude. We partied, dude. And I made it back, and I can sit in church and truly understand the grace and the dignity of forgiveness and a second chance. And I look at other people in the church and I go, do they even understand what a gift this spiritual thing is, this relationship with God is? Can you speak about letting go of shame from degenerate, embarrassing actions, being a maniac? Well, Floyd, thank you. Floyd, that's what the fourth and the fifth step are all about, man. You got to get honest, dude. It's not about like, it's really not about letting go. It's actually about embracing it. It's kind of the opposite, dude. You don't really let go of the shame and the guilt. You actually own it, dude. You're like, yes, that is my shame. That is my guilt. Those are my bad actions. I take full responsibility for everything that I've done that horrifies me. And then you take ownership of that stuff, right? And then you give it to God and another human being in the fifth step. And you relieve yourself of the bondage of the secret of the guilt and the shame. See, the guilt and the shame, the shame is what you need to be able to look in the mirror at, dude. See, most people can't look at the person in the mirror, not because they can't see the beautiful person. It's because they don't want to acknowledge their ugliness, dude, their grimness, dude, and their mistakes. No, it's not about letting go. It's about embracing. The secret is through the fourth and the fifth step is you take ownership. We don't dwell upon the past, neither do we shut the door on it. You don't spend a bunch of time thinking about it anymore either, because you've come through the portal. But the secret is you own it, man. It's yours, dude. And instead of pretending it's somebody else's, oh, if my parents did this to me, the cops did this to me, that girl did this to me, my boss did this to me. It's like, no, I did this to me. I'm the one who responded this way to this situation. This was me. And so I truly think it isn't about letting go. I think it's truly about taking it and embracing it and then filing it away into your breast pocket and being like, this is who I am. This is what I am. This is what I'm capable of. But I'm also capable of altering my path through the grace of God and being of service to the others. Like the debauchery of our past is how we're able to do the 12 step, right? Which is to carry this message to other alcoholics and practice these principles in all our affairs, right? If we don't have anything to bring to the table, dude, how can we communicate with another person who's actively suffering? That's what I'm saying is like when I was sitting with this dude shooting up coke and doing his whole thing, like I don't have a judgment on him. I don't look down upon him. I don't feel sorry for him. I have the grace and the dignity to understand that there, but for the grace of God go I. That's me. That's me without a solution, dude. That's what I look like when I don't have a solution. That's what I look like when I don't have God for in the front and center of my reality, man. So I do think that we don't let go of the shame and the degenerate, embarrassing actions. We hold them dear. They are who we are. They're part of our character development, dude. It's easy to hang on to the goodies, dude. Oh, dude, I helped the little old lady cross the street, dude. But can you actually hold on to the fact that you helped the little old lady across the street to steal her wallet, dude? You know what I mean? So you could score drugs, dude. Or you helped the little old lady across the street so you could get her to buy you alcohol. Whatever it is that's why we don't differentiate between the good story and the bad story. They're our story. The story is our story, uniquely ours. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent. The whole thing is that's why we don't shut the door on it. It has to be accessible to us. And but we can't dwell on it. That's the point of doing the fourth and the fifth step. And so we don't have to dwell on it. It's not a secret anymore. We told another human being about our debauchery and our embarrassment. We told another human being. God already knew anyhow, dude. Like that's what you'll find out too, is you ain't keeping any secrets anyhow from God. So you might as well just tell him, and you might as well like tell someone else who's you're doing this work with, and free yourself of the thing, dude. Don't be sorry, Flatto, dude. You don't have to be sorry because you drank, dude. Just the only requirement's a desire to stop, dude. Don't ever be sorry, dude. Like that's the guilt and the shame, dude. And it doesn't help, man. Yeah. Healthy ownership is great, but no ongoing self-punishment. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's the point, dude. There's no need to self-punish. That's what being of service to others is all about. It's self-solution, dude. You know, you coked out and you're fast enough to help old lady make yourself. Yeah, yeah, dude. JG Wentworth. You can shame yourself into sobriety, man. Just focus on stopping. I don't know. Stopping's not really the problem. It's again is stopping what? The drugs and the alcohol aren't the problem, man. Stopping what? What are we stopping, dude? The self-talking mind. The pain and the discomfort of this fallen nature. 97 days alcohol free, but still smoke the weed. You're California sober, dude. Right on transins. Hey man, to each his own, dude. I'm not here to like get on that, dude. Nor California sober, dude. Mendocino sober, dude. Just try to keep doing that's it, Flatto, dude. We just get back up on the horse and ride, dude. 2 years sober this month, dude. Wind Rose, 666s, dude. Mendo. 2 years sober. Good for you, man. I'm so grateful. I'm coming up. I'm going to be, I think 16 years on the 1st, man. Kind of exciting, dude. I haven't taken a cake in a couple years. I think I'm going to take a cake this year, dude. I remember I got a super special chip on my 14th, dude. Who would have thunk, dude? Who would have thunk a renegade, drunk stoner drug addict like me could have gotten 16 years of sobriety? Huh? What? What? To the point where I get called to get where I get called and paid to go sit with actively using rich junkies to keep them from like hurting themselves. That's how sober I am, dude. It's beautiful, man. I love that, dude. It's good stuff, dude. And then we just hang out here on the farm and do our thing, dude. Be of service to people. Anyway, remember, man, whatever you're thinking, don't take yourself out, dude. Don't take yourself out. Good for that, PMI. 2 years, 3 months. I'm only 3 days Cali sober, but trying to control my urges of cigarettes and weed. There you go. It's weird. It's just a game of effort, man. It's just a game of effort. Don't quit. Read The Easy Way by Alan Carr, dude. Don't quit. Return back to your natural state. Anyhow, don't self-delete. Whatever you're doing, just don't self-delete, dude. If you want to get sober, you can basically look up online, wherever you are, Spaceship Earth's AA Central Office, and you'll get a list of meetings and some phone numbers there. And just go to a meeting, raise your hand, say hello, demand sobriety, and it'll work. And if you're thinking about self-deleting, please don't, and make a phone call. 988 is the text. And you just type that in and just talk to someone that usually will get you to the other side of it. Because ultimately, we need you. All of us are important right now as we move through this dark time in our reality, dude. And we need more beams of light. And you may not feel light like a light beam tonight, but that's just tonight, man. We all have our moments. With that said, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. All right. Good night. Use the name tags. Thanks for tuning in. See you next Wednesday.